Thanks for joining us here on WVTT News Channel 25. I'm Alexa Olson. This is Twin Tiers Evening News. Jeff Angelonis is off tonight. The big story tonight on Twin Tiers Evening News is the Buffalo Sabres. Just hours ago, they announced that Lindy Ruff has been released of his position as head coach for the Buffalo Sabres. We don't really know much more at this time. They aren't releasing any more details, but when they do, we'll make sure we bring them all to you here on WVTT. And what everyone seems to be talking about besides the Sabres these past couple of days is Olympic Blade Runner Oscar Pistorius. Now, Pistorius is about to find out whether he will be freed ahead of his trial for the killing of Reva Steenkamp. The athlete was in court Wednesday for his bail hearing. His lawyers have challenged a prosecution claim that testosterone was discovered in his home, saying the substance investigators found was a legal herbal medicine. CNN's Robin Curnow has the latest from Pretoria.
More riveting testimony here at the Pretoria High Court. We're hearing from the investigating officer. He's telling the court a number of fascinating, compelling details that poke holes in Oscar Pistorius' statement. He says that the couple argued for at least an hour, according to police reports, on the night that Reva Steenkamp was killed. He's also questioning Oscar's side of the story of how and where he was when he shot at that bathroom door. Currently, we know that a number of diagrams and photographs of the house are being displayed in the courtroom as the police try and explain the trajectory of the bullets. We also know that they think Oscar Pistorius is a flight risk. That is why they are opposing bail. They say he has offshore bank accounts and a house in Italy, and they say if he were to leave the country, it'd be very difficult to bring him back to stand trial. So that is why they say he should spend the next few months until a trial date is set behind bars, and that's also why they say this was premeditated murder. Back to you.
Here at WVTT, we are getting some new information about Olean General Hospital. WVTT's Valerie Tysander filed this report for us while on assignment tonight.
More details are emerging on a story we told you about last month. Olean General Hospital is experiencing some pushback from a Buffalo law firm. Attorney John Elmore, an Olean native, told WVTT he's representing multiple clients who tested positive for hepatitis and plans to file a lawsuit with the hospital. But Dennis McCarthy, the Vice President of Marketing and Communications for Upper Allegheny Health Systems, which is a health organization in charge of Olean General, says Elmore is using the incident to drum up PR for his law firm. McCarthy says Elmore is trying to get the Cattaraugus County Health Department to hold public hearings and says, quote, just that a personal injury law firm would ask a health department to hold public hearings. McCarthy also says that of the nearly 2,000 people who were informed about the potential insulin pen reuse, more than 600 people have been tested for hepatitis and HIV. He says, quote, when you start doing statistical math on something like this, 2% of the population is going to test positive. So if you take 500 people and test for hepatitis, chances are that 20 of them are going to be positive. Valerie Tysander, News Channel 25, WVTT.
For more on this story and the extended interview with Dennis McCarthy, visit our website, WVTTnews.com. Olean Public Works Director Tom Windus says that the city's light poles along North Union Street are in desperate need of replacements. He spoke with WVTT to talk about the problem and the city's plan to fix it.
Right at the base of the unit, there's a flange piece that comes down and gets bolted to the bases. Where that necks up and connects to the pole itself, it's welded. Well, that welded connection and that point has become very, very weak on most of the poles. We did an evaluation back in '08 that outlined how many were really getting bad. Basically, we could see from a visual inspection some that had already been rusted through. Some there was no signs, but you know that they're getting weak. The one that fell over this last windstorm didn't have any holes, visible holes through it, but obviously it was weak from just the rusting from the inside. So what we're planning on doing is we have about $25,000 in this year's line item. So we're going to, we've put a proposal out to get a price on 20 poles. Hopefully we'll have enough money to buy 20 poles and we'll replace at least that many.
Now, Windus says that contrary to other reports, the light pole near the mall that fell over several weeks ago was not a result of Santa Claus Lane decorations weighing it down, but rather a result of the weakened base. Windus also talked with us about the proposed redevelopment plan for North Union Street, which is currently in its public comment phase. He says the city has already received a number of comments that will help to shape the direction of the project. He explains the timing of the overhaul has a lot to do with what's happening underground.
The reason we're looking at it right now, yes, we got grant monies to coincide with the Manny-Haney project, and that's what we're using to do this complete design. But the reason I support it 100% is that we know we have infrastructure underneath that road that need to be replaced. Much like East State Street, we had to replace the infrastructure, so let's do it while we're redoing the road. I need a plan. I know I have to replace the sanitary sewer lines. I know I have to disconnect the downspouts from those buildings. So it's nice to have a plan to refurbish the surface when you're going to dig up the base.
Officials are seeking grants to extend the Allegheny River Trail in Allegheny. The grants would be funded by the New York State Health Department to develop streets that invite physical activity. The trail will be extended to run throughout the village of Allegheny. A 20-year-old man from Jamestown is facing charges today after state police stopped him for speeding on I-86 in Randolph. But he wasn't just going 10 miles per over the limit. No, police say Lawrence Walsh was driving 105 miles per hour. Police stopped the speedster only to discover that he couldn't pass a field sobriety test. According to police, Walsh's blood alcohol content level was at 0.16. Walsh was arrested for DWI and possession of alcohol under the age of 21 after they allegedly found a beer can inside his car. He will be in the town of Randolph court later this month. Time Warner Cable customers may find their wallets a little emptier once March hits, and the company says it's all because of rising costs of TV programming, especially sports programming. Now, customers who are on a promotional discounted price won't be hit immediately with the price increase. The company says their bills will stay the same until their promotional period ends. Full details of the changes are on our website. You will search Time Warner Cable to pull that one up. And the lake effect snow advisory is over. The advisory, which was issued for Cattaraugus and Allegheny counties, may not have been heeded by some drivers. Lots of crashes reported over the Twin Tiers. Countersport Fire Department called to a rollover accident near Rocks Road in Sweden Township around 11 this morning with reported injuries. Fatalities reported in accidents on a highway near Buffalo as well this morning when roads were especially slick. Representative Kathy Rapp would like to let residents know that forms for the state's property tax and rent rebate program for tax year 2012 are now available online. You can see that at representativerapp.com. Eligible participants can receive a rebate of up to $650 based on their rent or property taxes paid in the year 2012. Now, the program benefits eligible Pennsylvanians who are 65 years or older, widows or widowers 50 years or older, and those 18 years or older with permanent disabilities. Applications due by June 30th. And Pennsylvanians can demonstrate their support for the state's servicemen and women with an Honoring Our Veterans license plate now available for the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. The license plate features an American flag and a bald eagle with the words Honoring Our Veterans. And according to Representative Marty Causer, he says the cost of the license plate is about $35, and $15 of that will go to Veterans Trust Fund. The trust fund is administered by the Pennsylvania Department of Military and Veterans Affairs to provide grants to veteran services organizations. Much more to come. This is Twin Tiers Evening News.